Hello, fellow quarantiners. Peter here, and welcome to the next installment of Teach Me, the series that puts the spotlight on talented folks who may be at home right now during quarantine, as I do my best to be a guinea pig and learn something new from folks who aren't earning a paycheck as normal. If you have something to teach or know anyone who would be good, hit me up on the website, quaranteachme.com. The topic can be really anything that you know how to do well and can be taught over video chat. Today, I'm in the kitchen for a cooking lesson. I'm joined by Chef Juan Diego Del Castillo on this episode of Teach Me. Based in Los Angeles, Juan Diego is a Peruvian-born chef currently quarantining at home away from work. So today, he and I talk about how he's been holding up with this new normal, how the restaurant industry has been affected. We talk about his Peruvian roots too, and how he discovered his passion for cooking. And then dive into a live tutorial right in my house kitchen, cooking one of his favorite dishes, Lomo Saltado. So sit back and get hungry and enjoy my interview and lesson with Juan Diego. We're here with Juan Diego. Welcome, Juan. How you doing?
Great. Thank you for having me.
All right, man. So we are going to talk about cooking today. I'm in my kitchen. You have got me cooking a Peruvian dish. Tell me about yourself and what we're going to be cooking today during our Teach Me lesson.
I'm 28 years old. I moved to California about 10 years ago. I lived in San Francisco for almost 10 years. I was born and raised in Peru. I'm raising between pots and pans because my family has restaurants. So I always been around cooking and sharing all the stuff about restaurant in my house. And yeah, when I moved here, I changed careers. I was in economics school back in Peru, and every single project was about cooking. I don't know why. So when I moved here, I decided to enroll culinary school. And then here we are 10 years later, enjoying a lot what I'm doing.
You work in a restaurant here in Los Angeles. Tell us when that closed down and what was it like having everybody leave their job?
Yeah, so I moved to LA in February. I was very lucky to start at Felix Trattoria, which is an amazing place here in Venice.
One of my favorite restaurants. I'm right around the corner. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I started there about mid-February, and about March 15, if I'm not mistaken, is when everything exploded. And it was because we're frontline. We're talking to every single guest. It was very hard to continue doing every single day because you don't know who can be asymptomatic, who can have it, who is coming from where. Some people were just coming from the airport. So the restaurant decided to was better to just start doing delivery at the moment, takeout.
Gotcha.
I personally decided to stay at home just for the sake of myself, and that's where we are. You've
got a Instagram account with pop-up. Tell us about that and what are you doing with the pop-up?
2 years ago in San Francisco with one of my friends, I decided to launch a pop-up. I was working what we call front of the house. I was being a server. So I miss a lot cooking and I wanted to do something but just for myself. So we found this pop-up restaurant in San Francisco and we started doing pop-ups there. I wanted to do Peruvian and I wanted to do different themes every single time, but all of them on the same concept, Peruvian. The first one was kind of like myself trying to do what I learned these years here in America. The second time was only my grandma's recipes.
Cool. Amazing.
It's a very fun project that I want to continue doing it, hopefully soon.
So we're going to be cooking today. First of all, tell me about Peruvian food and what makes it so special.
I really enjoy it because we have a lot of influence from all over. A lot of influence from African food, from Spanish. What we're going to be doing today is a little bit mixing between some Peruvian and also some Asian. There's a lot of Asian influence in Peruvian food, in between Japanese, Chinese.
Fascinating. Yeah, when you told me I needed to get soy sauce and oyster sauce out, that was a surprise to me. So tell us the name of the dish we're going to be making today.
It's called Lomo Saltado. It's basically a stir-fried beef with a couple of vegetables and definitely always two sides. Rice and fries. All
right. Well, I am ready. Let's get cooking. I'm in your hands, man. So take the reins. Tell me what to do. Let's dive in. Let's get started.
Let's do it. Let's start first with the rice. I'm using right now basmati rice. Whatever rice you have, that's fine. I'm just gonna turn on my stove and put it around like low to medium heat. So we're gonna heat the pan. We're gonna put around like a tablespoon of oil on the pan. I have a beer as well, so if you want to join me.
Okay, maybe I'll join you with a glass of wine. Hey, Juan Diego, cheers, man.
Cheers for the lunch. Put a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of salt, and I let my garlic toast it a little bit. Do not burn it, but just toast the garlic on it. Just move it around.
I've got some regular fresh garlic. Are we going to be using that or just the powder?
You can do it. You can just crush it with the knife. And then if you can mince it really fine, so you don't have like huge chunks of garlic on it.
It's starting to smell great. How do you smell?
That's the key for like a good garlic rice. So something, I don't know if you can see, but something like this that is kind of like a golden brownish. Mm-hmm. That's how I like it. And then once it's like that, put your whole rice inside. So what we do is we toast a little bit of rice with the garlic.
Rice, dry, and the garlic. See, I've never toasted rice before.
Yeah, it also gives a little bit more fragrant flavor because of the garlic that you have in there. Once your rice is a little toasty, so it does change a little bit of color. As you can see, it's a little bit more like a brownish. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add my water. I'm using 1 cup of rice per 1.5 cup of water. My water is already boiling. I'm just going to give it a quick stir, and then we're going to cover it. And now I'm going to put it in the lowest setting that I can on the kitchen. How I check my rice is I'm going to open the lid, and with a spoon, I check the bottom of the pan. If the bottom of the pan there's no water, I'm going to turn off the heat. I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to leave it set for about another 20 minutes. I get all the steam finished cooking out.
Nice. Okay. Excellent.
Actually, let's put the fries so they can be crispy.
Okay.
I'm cooking at least for 3 people right now, so I just rather do these fries like this. Use frozen fries. At least if you're cooking for a lot of people, and if you don't have a professional kitchen, this is the best way to actually do the fries.
How would your grandmother feel about using packaged frozen fries? That might be allowed?
It depends, like right now that we are in quarantine. So we have the fries ready. We're going to start doing the prep for what we're going to saute.
Okay.
We're going to start first with the onion. Oh, there you go. Okay, so we're gonna cut both of the ends.
Okay.
And then we're gonna cut it in half.
Okay.
We're gonna peel the outside of the onion that you can actually take out. The onion have a couple hearts. I bought this onion a couple days ago. So you have a couple hearts. What I like to use is outside layers because they are easier to actually cut, at least for myself, for what I'm doing right now. So the actual layers you have here before you get into the heart. So I'm going to use about 3 of them. Once you get to this one, you can do it separately. You can do it. And then we're going to cut it on kind of like big pieces. So something like this, like big pieces.
I'm going to go for it all at once. I'm an efficiency guy. I'm going to cut down into an angle.
I'm gonna do exactly the same thing with the other onion that I do have. We have the onions ready.
Onions ready.
Now we're going to cut the tomatoes.
Okay.
Some people like to completely peel them, so that's a different story. How I like it is I'm going to cut it in half.
Okay.
To use a whole tomato, I'm going to do a little quick cut in here. So I take the tip out, and you can use the whole tomato in there.
All right.
And then we're going to do kind of like the same size of what the onions are. So something kind of close to these.
Okay, so they're pretty good sized chunks. And how many tomatoes are you going to use overall?
Maybe 2, actually.
All right, I'll use 3 because mine are tiny.
Yeah, try to use the tomatoes. Obviously, again, during quarantine, whatever you can find is good. But if you are doing this, try to get the tomatoes that are not as ripe, that are a little more firmer. We're going to finish up really quick chopping the cilantro, and then we will go into the meat.
What beer are you drinking today? Is that a Sapporo?
Oh, yeah. All right, so cilantro really quick. I still like to pass it through a little bit of water. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some of the leaf. You're going to kind of like make a little bunch in your hand, so it's easier for you to chop them. So you're going to grab your knife, and then you're going to start.
And we're doing the whole bunch?
I did almost kind of like the half of it.
Okay.
And then just go ahead and chop it completely. Be careful with your fingers. I like to leave my cilantro not completely means. I like to leave some, for example, some leaf. It does give a little...
I like to see some of the leaf on it myself. If it's just a rough chop. Okay, great.
Exactly. We're going to do the beef now.
Okay.
I do have my piece of beef. You don't want your beef to be very big or very, very...
I got a huge piece. This is 2 pounds. How much do I need?
Maybe the half of that.
So we're using about a pound of beef.
Yeah. If there any silver skin that you don't need to use, don't use it. I like to personally use, for example, these little pieces that have a little bit of fat in there. And then we're going to cut it right like around this size. So like around your pinky-ish. So,
okay,
so we're going to cut...
for finger-sized strips.
Yes.
So it's kind of like a fat pinky.
We are missing. Oh, you have the bell pepper with you as well, right?
Orange bell pepper, is that okay?
Beautiful. Yes, we're gonna use that as well. Let me keep a little rinse here. One of the brilliant parts of these dishes to use ají amarillo is a Peruvian chili, because obviously we are not in Peru, we're in America. It's a little bit hard to use it. It's a very different type of flavor, but we can use bell peppers. Just give a little bit color and also give a little bit of sweetness to the dish as well. Usually the ají amarillo also gives a little bit of heat. Because of that, I'm just gonna do a very, very, very little of cayenne pepper. Just because to contrast that, but not even a half teaspoon. I'm doing it's just a dot. With this bell pepper, we're gonna cut it in julienne. We're gonna cut it in really fine strips. This is actually a big bell pepper. So we're gonna cut a quarter, if you're not calling it a certain way. And then from here, we're gonna do a little julienne of it.
Okay. So long strips first.
And then this should be good for the amount of food that we're doing. So a quarter of the bell pepper, that should be good.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it on top of the tomatoes as well. These are the ingredients that we're gonna use today. Let's give it a real quick look to the rice and to the fries.
How's it looking? Are we allowed to peek now?
Yeah. So open your pot of the rice.
Oh yeah, that's looking good.
Yeah, I'm gonna cover it again, turn off the stove, put it on the side, and let the steam finish cooking the rice. So,
all right, I got my pan out for sauteing the beef.
The process is going to be really, really quick on this one. That's why I'm waiting for the fries to be ready. We don't want the beef to overcook, and we don't want the vegetables to lose their texture. I don't want, for example, the tomatoes to lose all the water. They need to absorb it instead of lose it. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I do have already salt on the pan. The only thing I'll do is just add a very, very little cumin, but very little pepper. If you have a pepper mill, even better.
A little bit of cumin, a little bit of pepper.
I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to do one portion. So again, if you put a lot of things in a pan, the heat is going to go off and it's not going to cook. So I'm going to use like around 5 or 6 of these pieces of beef. And then the same with the rest. So you don't lose any heat on it. If we are frying or if we're using any oil for like high heat, I try to use something as vegetable or as canola. So it doesn't have any additional flavors. And it's not going to burn really quick. Whenever the beef is ready, we're going to put the beef on a separate bowl. We're going to fry the beef. For example, I'm going to fry the beef on this pan. I'm just going to put the beef out of the pan and I'm going to use I'm going to put a little bit of oil and I'm going to use exactly what is in there to saute the vegetables.
Awesome. All right.
So my wok has started to smoke. Do you want to open the door just so the smoke detector doesn't until Juan?
Listen, it wouldn't be experiments in home cooking unless you set the smoke detector off on occasion. I've already done it twice in this new house.
I'm gonna put my beef. We're gonna try to get some color and sear the beef.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's looking good.
So I just took my beef out, put a little bit more of oil in the pan, just again a touch. There is plenty of oil still in there. And I'm gonna wait also for my wok to reheat again. So we're gonna put the vegetables. We're gonna start first with the onions. Again, some big onions. Really quick, you're gonna put your tomatoes and your pepper. Give it a quick saute.
Oh, yeah.
Now, add a little bit of your vinegar on top of that. Soy sauce, give it about 1 tablespoon, and oyster sauce, give it half tablespoon.
Oyster sauce is the bomb.
Ooh,
it's all
there you go.
the umami you can get. Just a little dash. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. And then just mix it well and bring back your beef. Top it with a little bit of cilantro. Mix it one more time, and my friend, you are ready.
Wow, that was fast. It all just came together at the last minute. So we've got our onions, tomatoes. It looks beautiful. Do you want to put the fries into the mix or just serve them in there on top of the?
No, so I put on the bottom the fries and rice.
Okay.
And then we're gonna top it with the saltado. And just a sprinkle of the cilantro on top. And
looks absolutely delicious. The fries, the rice, fresh veggies. Oh my God.
There we go.
All right, so I'm gonna get a fork.
I'll do the same. The first bite is the one that you get a little bit of each ingredient and obviously a little bit of the rice.
Yeah, and get some of this rice, get a vegetable, piece of the beef. Oh, that is delicious. Juan Diego, this is amazing.
I'm glad you enjoy it.
This is something you could eat and pay good money for in a nice restaurant. You could make it for friends in a backyard cookout. Like, it's really delicious. This was an amazing culinary adventure. I can't thank you enough for joining us and teaching us how to make Lomo Saltado.
Lomo Saltado.
Listen, tell my audience where they can find you online. Tell us about the Instagram account for your Peruvian pop-up.
You can find the pop-up in Instagram. It's called Manyas, Manyas pop-up. Thank you for having me. This has been really fun. So
this was a ton of fun, man. Well, I'm glad to collaborate with you. I appreciate the teaching lesson. I'm going to Venmo you $100 after we get off. So that's my thanks to you. And I want to encourage everybody else to reach out to other talented folks who may be stuck at home and pay for lessons. Try to learn as much as you can and help those that have been disrupted by this virus and kind of stuck at home. I feel like you've got a lot to teach. This has been really a ton of fun. So thanks so much, man. I hope you stay safe out there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Juan Diego, take it easy, buddy. I'm gonna enjoy this dish. Take it easy. You get it, buddy.
Go for it.
All right, bye.